Hey everybody, it is Cody from Lazy Goblins, and you are watching a speed up of a stream I did on Mixer of development for our game Wacky Duels. Um, yeah, I started streaming on Mixer. I streamed on YouTube, and then heard about Mixer and decided to try over there, and I think we're gonna stick with going over there. We're going to do podcasts and everything over there as well. We just recorded a podcast the day this video is going up. And unfortunately, with OBS and Mac, it doesn't by default record the desktop audio, so you only hear me talk and not Johnny, but we'll get that fixed. So what I was working on here was what I called the cloud dispenser. And the cloud dispenser, it basically, we could set an amount of clouds to dispense, a random time for it to dispense, a random scale for it, a random position between 2 points, and a random speed for it to move across the sky. And yeah, I was just working on that here. I was working on getting everything all set up for it. I think at this point I was working on getting it to have only a set amount, like a max amount, so it won't go over that amount. So like if we put 5 in there, then it would only spawn 5. And then at this point, as you can see, the bullet kind of curves a bit. It spawns perfectly when it first gets shot, but afterwards it moves a bit. And at first I thought it was the colliders, which it ended up being in the end, but it was the wrong colliders I was looking at. So I ended up putting the bullet on a different layer, and all the mesh that's actually like the clothes and the gun and all that stuff, the cosmetics on a cosmetic layer. And I just told the bullet to not hit those at all. Because what we do is when the player gets killed, it gets blown up and the pieces, explode and spread out and can rotate and collide with other things. So we still want colliders on them, but we just didn't want it to. Collide with the bullet. So we put those on different layers. Here I kept thinking it was because I checked the colliders of some of the things, and I turned those off to see if it was working, and if that was a problem, it was still consisting. So I didn't think it was colliders for a bit. I thought it was the position we were passing into the bullet to where to have it aim to, because right now we have it, once it spawns, it aims at the mouse position that was tapped. So for a while I was thinking it was that, but ended up figuring out it was the colliders in the end, those pesky colliders. But we got it figured out, and it's working very nicely now. And of course, I try to commit my changes as often as possible. That way, if anything happens, we can revert to the last commit, and it won't be too far behind, hopefully. Of course, stuff happens, so. And here you'll see me check and see how our stream is doing on Mixer. Right there. And then I'm promoting the stream on Discord. Going through the Discord channel. And then here With these errors, it was some of the players weren't marked as the player tag, so it wasn't registering for the AI to target them. So I had to go through and make sure all the player prefabs were all set up correctly. And then I found out that at one point the player, if they aim straight up, they'll actually shoot themselves. But I think this is still, we're trying to fix the curve of the bullet, and this is me adding the layers. Oh no, that was me trying to fix the player shooting themselves. And this is when I had to let the dogs back in. Then I went on to make level 3, I believe. Or did I make level 2? Looks like I'm making level 2 here. I went on to make 2 extra levels, so I made level 2 and level 3. Making the levels here I had trouble with. It wasn't actually going to the next level after the first one is played. It would just repeat the first one, and that ended up being I incremented the level count after I spawned the level. So it would spawn the same level rather than increment the level count, and then spawning that level. And then here I'm just doing some set dressing, which is basically just adding props into the background, making it look nice and giving it a little bit of story. Speaking of props to Johnny for all the assets he's made. He's done a fantastic job on them. Very, very good job. And then here I'm going to go make level 3. We have it set up in a pretty easy way to make levels. We can just duplicate one prefab and have it be good to go. And at this point, I had the AI will automatically get the player's position and have that be a target it will look at a random time. But there's some designs that might not be useful, like if the player is right underneath at a platform underneath the AI. So I just went in and made it so there's a bool that we can toggle for each AI to either automatically grab the player's position and add that to the target, one of the targets to shoot at, or to not, because you don't want the AI to just randomly shoot the floor. And here's me doing some more set dressing for level 3. Adding in some cactuses and all that. Just trying to give it some story to the background and to not make it look entirely the same as the previous levels. And at this point, I think the player's bullet was not hitting the ground, so I was trying to fix that. And then I was also messing around with different target points for the AI to aim at. This one was a bit tricky because our bullets bounce, so I would place a target point and be like, okay, this will be good, it'll miss. But it ended up bouncing a couple times and ended up killing the player, so I had to adjust and fix that a bit. But I think that's it. If you enjoyed this, I'm going to do some more speed devs with commentary. And yeah, find us on Mixer. Alright guys, till next time, keep creating. Bye.